Apple's first foldable iPhone might not feel like an iPhone at all, and that's the most surprising part. According to a new leak, Apple's iPhone Fold could behave more like a tiny iPad that happens to fold, with design choices we've literally never seen on a modern smartphone. Before we jump in, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that like button. It really helps me keep bringing you more tech breakdowns like this one. That matters because Apple is late. Foldables have been around for years now, and Samsung, Huawei, and others are already on their 5th or 6th generation. So Apple can't just copy what exists. It has to justify why waiting was worth it. And if these leaks are accurate, Apple's answer is a radical internal layout that completely changes how the phone is built and how you interact with it. The biggest shock? The volume buttons may be on the top edge of the device, not the side, not split across the frame, right on the top, similar to how the iPad mini handles its buttons. On current iPhones, volume buttons live on the left, power on the right, but on the iPhone Fold, everything shifts. According to the Instant Digital leaker, Apple plans to place the volume buttons on the top edge of the right half of the device. The power button, which will also include Touch ID, and a dedicated camera button will sit along the right side, like current iPhones. The left half, almost no buttons at all. This isn't just a design experiment, it's driven by the internal layout. Apple reportedly wants the main logic board entirely on the right side of the phone. That lets Apple avoid running long cables through the hinge to the left half, something that can hurt reliability and durability over time. The trade-off is that all controls get pushed to one side. But here's where it gets interesting. That left half becomes mostly battery and display. Because Apple isn't stuffing logic boards everywhere, the iPhone Fold could end up with the largest battery ever put into an iPhone. And that's a big deal. Battery life has always been a weak spot for foldables, especially ones with large inner displays. Apple may be using its late entry to quietly solve one of the category's biggest problems. Visually, the phone also seems to lean more iPad than iPhone. The back is rumored to look similar to the iPhone Air, with a horizontal camera plateau instead of the usual square bump. It'll house 2 main cameras, an LED flash, and a microphone. And here's a very Apple detail. That camera plateau will always be black, regardless of the phone's color. So even if the body is white, which is the only confirmed color so far, the camera bar stays black. A second black color option is expected, which would make the contrast less obvious, but also very clean. On the inside, the specs sound exactly like what you'd expect from Apple's first foldable: a 7.8-inch internal display for tablet-style use, a 5.5-inch outer display for quick tasks, an A20 Pro chip, and 12 gigabytes of RAM. The price, though, is unmistakably Apple, somewhere between $2,000 and $2,500, making it the most expensive iPhone ever. And that brings us to the most questionable part of this leak: usability. There's a reason basically every smartphone puts volume buttons on the side. You adjust volume dozens of times a day: music, videos, calls. Reaching to the top of a tall, foldable device to do that sounds awkward, especially one with a large inner screen. Apple may be betting that people will use the iPhone Fold more like an iPad mini than a phone. That means two-handed use, landscape orientation, and more reliance on software controls instead of physical buttons. But that's a big assumption, and one that could frustrate users who expect iPhone simplicity. Still, this leak fits Apple's pattern. Instead of chasing what competitors are doing, Apple seems to be redesigning the foldable concept around durability, battery life, and internal efficiency, even if that means breaking long-standing smartphone conventions. If this all turns out to be true, the iPhone Fold won't just be Apple's take on foldables. It'll be Apple questioning whether a foldable should even behave like a phone in the first place. And that's risky. But if anyone can convince people to relearn how to use a device, it's Apple. What's your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments section. See you in the next video. Take care.